This video is brought to you by guidedpracticeroutines.com. Check out the link in the description and take your practice to the next level. Hello everybody, Levi Clay here, and in today's lesson we are going to be looking at applying triads to a chord progression with 5 different levels, becoming progressively more difficult, taking you from playing basic triads to soloing over chord progressions using triad knowledge as your basis. We are going to be doing this using the gospel standard Amazing Grace. I think it's a common song which everybody knows the sound of, very quick to learn the chord progression to, but you should be able to apply this to any chord progression. Once you've got these concepts down, it's incredibly important in your practice that you start applying these to other chord progressions. This isn't just about learning, copying the things that I do, remembering where to put your fingers. Real growth in your playing will come from application of the concepts in different places. Now, of course, this is inspired by a lot of the work that I have on guidedpracticeroutines.com, where we focus on triads in the Triad Mastery course. If you're interested in that, check out the link in the description. We recently launched, and there is still 20% off for the next 6 days. That's our founders offer. So miss it, and you'll miss out forever. Right, let's crack on with things. So we are looking at, as I say, Amazing Grace, and the first step of being able to play something like this is knowing the chord progression. That's very, very important. When I process a chord progression like this, I do it using Roman numerals, which means I'll be able to play it in any key. So if I give you the chord names and Roman numerals, you can focus on the memorization of both of those. So if we're playing in the key of C, our first chord will be a C major, which is the one chord in the key of C. We play that for 2 bars. Then we go to F, which is our 4 chord. Back to our 1 chord, C. Then up to our 5 chord, G. Back home, C, 1. 4 chord, F. Back home, C, 1. We then, or at least the way I tend to play this, is go to the 6 chord, A minor. 5 chord, G. Back to our 1 chord, C. But the actual way I'm going to do this is I'm going to treat this as though it's an F with the C in the bass, bringing me home to C. It's a little bit of a suspension that we're putting in there. So lots of chords there, but we really want to be able to play through the chord progression and hear that root note movement whilst potentially humming the melody. This is level 0, if you like. We're not even applying our triad. So if your melody is starting on a C, we might go da 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 do, da 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 That's our chord progression. Very important that you've got that memorized. I think of it, like I say, in Roman numerals. I'm thinking playing my 1 chord, going to the 4 chord, back to my 1 chord. 1 chord to the 5 chord, back to my 1 chord. Then we have our 1 chord and our 6 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, well, suspension. Learn that first. That's very important. From there, we can start applying our triads. So our first level is going to be taking triads. In this particular example, I'm going to be playing these on the D, G, and B strings. But of course, you want to practice this, being able to do this on any string set. So, for example, if the first chord is C, we should be able to play C major triads. These closed voice triads. These are our C major triads, and we could do that on any string set. Do it on the top string set. Those are all C major voicings. So what we're going to do is play through the chord progression as in position as we can, whilst playing a closed voice triad. So C goes to F, da 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 ba do do da. I'm gonna go to a G chord, which is da do do da 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 da. A minor. And remember F, which resolves to my C. Very simple process, and in the actual example I'm going to play those chords and hold them, but you could arpeggiate those. You might play playing basic arpeggiation through that. Great thing to practice. Now what I'm going to do in level 1 is I'm going to play that in 2 positions. So I'll start here, C, F, G, C. But I should be able to do that anywhere. If I played C here, F might be this, G might be this. But you could play G here. We might play C here at the 8th fret. If C is here, F is here, and G would be here. Now this level of triad knowledge, this lesson isn't about teaching you those triads. This is very basic stuff. Cover that extensively on my YouTube channel in the Triad Mastery course on guidedpracticeroutines.com. If you don't know these triad voicings, you want to stop the video here and make sure you have those down. Very, very important. So if I played through that chord progression starting here, I might play da da do do da 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 do da da do do da 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 do da ba do do da 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 do da ba do do da da da. Now, of course, this isn't a lesson on singing. I was going to say nobody wants to hear me sing, but I do tend to do it a lot. But the reason I'm doing that is because we're trying to train ourselves to hear the melody of anything that we play in relation to the chord progression. Very important that we can hear melody and chord progression, because that's what music is. It's the interaction of those two things. So that shouldn't be too difficult at level 1. Let me play that along with the backing track for you. It sounds like this. Okay, so for level 2, we're going to play these triads, the closed voice triads that we were looking at there. But what I want to be able to do at any point is add a different note on top of the chord. So if I was playing my C major chord here, I'm very aware of the fact that this is the root of the chord. And so melodically, I might add the D on top. I might play... Or maybe I play... Just using those notes as passing tones to add a little bit of melody to our chord playing. I could continue. continue up, C, playing D, playing F. That's like real knowledge of C major and being able to embellish those chords with melody. Now, we should be able to do that with any of our chords. So if I need to play F, now one question I often get from students is, well, how are you picking those notes? And the most important answer there is I'm doing it based on the sound that I want. I'm not saying to myself, this is the scale that I'm using, or this is the key that I'm in, and therefore these are the notes that should be played. Because music doesn't work like that. Music isn't about prescriptive knowledge. You don't start with theory and have that tell you what to play. You start with music and you use theory to explain what you did, not to tell you what to do. So when I go to the F, I'm still hearing this melody. So ba, ba, da, da, I'm trying to really focus in on what I want to hear and getting good at finding that thing with my hands. So if I can do that on F, I can do it on G. Variation on there, but the same basic idea is triad with melody note. So if we were to apply that to the chord progression, we might play, gotta go to F, Now, what I did there wasn't the way I've notated it for the example. I'm improvising as I do that. And you want to get really good at this, so you could start anywhere and go C, F, and we're going back to C. I played a passing tone there, which works, F. Then I don't think of this as being a pitch or an interval. I just see it as a melody note that takes me back to my chord tone. And then we go into G. So it's very much a case of, like I say, focusing on hearing a melody. Lessons like this and really developing your mind as a player, I said it at the start, don't come from just repeating tablature, just playing the thing back. It comes from experimentation. It comes from opening your mind, opening your ears, and connecting your ears with your hands. So I'm very melody first when I do this. So very simple approach there. Let me play the example along with a backing track. Sounds like this. Okay, so for level 3, it's important that we try and play the melody with the chord progression, or with the triads. So when you play Amazing Grace, just playing a simple melody there, simple arrangement of the melody. When I do that, I'm very aware that I'm playing the root note, the third, melody comes down, we land on the fifth of the F chord, we come down to the fifth of the C chord, back onto the root, third of the C chord, and then we jump up, G major with the root on top, or you could play C major with the fifth on top, F with the fifth on top, that's an A minor, it's got the third on top, and then this is actually not a G major, it's actually a G6. It has to be a G6 because the melody is on E when the G happens. So by doing that, I'm trying to train my ear to be able to hear melody in relation to a triad form. I'm trying to see and separate in my mind chord and melody, so I can use chords to support a melody, or I can add melody on top of chord voicings that I'm familiar with. So I might play that melody like this. So that experimentation is very important with this. You want to spend time looking for your melody notes in relation to your chords. And every song is going to be different. So when you learn a different song, you'll find the same things happen over and over again. It's not likely when you're playing over a C major chord like this that you're going to have to play a G sharp, or the F sharp is not all that common. Playing, not likely, but on a D minor, there's a limited pool of things that you're likely to do in the music that you play. So experimentation, key again. Let me play the melody along with the backing track using those triads. Sounds like this. Now, of course, when you're playing along with a song, you don't always want to play the melody. If it comes to, play rhythm guitar and you want to play something that's melodic while supporting a singer, much like a pedal steel guitar does, or if you wanted to take a solo but not literally just quote the melody because you find it would be boring to do that too much, you can take that previous approach of adding melody to your triads, but playing a different melody, because we have experimented now So I'm moving around a lot and I'm playing a lot of things, but hopefully what happens when I do this is you're hearing melody, and there's lots of things that you can do when it comes to melody. Because the chord progression is so tied into my mind, when I play melodically on this, I might play. Words to that effect. Now, like I say, it's embellishment. I'm trying to improvise with it. I'm trying to have fun with it. I'm trying to never lose sight of the chord progression. Now, what I'm kind of secretly making you practice here is improvisation or arrangement where you don't lose sight of what the chord progression is at any time. So you're trying to train your ears to not only play the thing that you're playing, but almost focus on the landing spot of where you're going to. So I'm so focused when I'm playing C, I'm going to an F. So I'm just focusing on getting myself to this F sound in my melody. And it helps to kind of lead and inform what you're doing and stop you when you're playing melodically over something from just sounding like you're going. You're just playing generic scale stuff. None of that really sounds connected to the thing I'm playing. Whereas having a deep understanding of what your chord progression is, having a deep understanding of how to embellish that chord progression with melody around your triad forms is going to result in better, more melodic playing. So let me give you an example of that along with the backing track. It sounds a little something like this. Okay, so for level 5, what I want to do here is move away from playing the triads as chordal events. Instead, I want to play them melodically, so I'm going to break them up into more arpeggio-based forms, single note soloing type things. And this is going to allow us to play solos over chord progressions where it really sounds like you're playing the chord progression. So there are obviously limitless ways that you can do this. You need to know your triad forms, and when you can see your triad forms, you can play them as arpeggio. So I might play a C like this. I could express that melodically as, and going to my F, resolving to my C. So already I'm starting to build a melody through the changes, right? Let's go. Now I'm playing a little bit over the top there. Let me slow things down and really focus on what it is that we need to do here. So if I were playing a C, I might play this. Very simple melody. Now I want to take it to F. How do I do that? I could go play this little melody, which takes me to the fifth of my F chord. So then I play my triad, which resolves to the third of C. So now we're playing sounds like I'm playing through my chord progression. Let's go again. I changed the melody a little bit there. I didn't play, because that would be me targeting the fifth of my F chord, I played because now I'm targeting B, which is the third of my G chord. So now we have a melody that goes through the first half of the chord progression. So I'm just playing, through the chord progression and really focusing on trying to just play arpeggios. Now I have written a little arrangement for this, and the melody I wrote actually goes like this. So C major in the A shape, we go, which takes a C major, chromatic walk up to my F triad. We play up the F, little F double stop, resolving to C. So if I put that together, we go. Now when I get to that C, I play much more flashy lick there, but what is that? Well, C major triad, C major triad. I'm just playing C major triads. And now I need to go to my G, so the way I do that is I go, because of course D is the fifth of G. So up until that point, and from here we play it's a really slick idea. And if I think intervals, I'm thinking fifth, third, root, flat, 7. And then this little third movement just takes me back to my nice little double stop of E and G, which of course is the third and fifth of my C major triad. So it takes me home. Now I want to get back down the neck, so I'm going to play, which is a C major double stop, moving that down diatonically to 10 and 9, which again, triad form, right? I'm playing my root and third. Down to my A shape. And when I'm here, I'm going to play so a lot of stuff happening there. C major in the A shape. Up to my F triad. And then this little sixth idea, which again, just C major triad, passing chord, C major triad. Now we need to go to A. I'm going to go, so A minor, that's root, fifth, root, flat, third. We go to our G chord, third, root, third, fifth. And then for my C, well, F over C, I'm going to play, that's my F, and then I'll walk it home. So if I play that whole arrangement of melody, we have this, 3, 4, So I am really outlining the chord change there as I play that. And it's still, 95% triad based. You could improvise like that. You could absolutely just play through this chord progression, C major. And you take endless improvisation stabs at this, what you're going to find is you become more fluent at connecting your chords together. So level 5 is definitely harder or hardest, but let's play that as one more example. It sounds like this. Now, of course, it wouldn't be the guided practice routines format unless I played the entire routine, because of course that is the focus of guidedpracticeroutines.com. We don't just have a lesson where you learn the thing, we have an actual practice routine. So I'm going to play the entire example now as one long exercise. It's about 3.5 minutes, so it's actually a very short routine, but the idea is that you would practice this routine in its entirety every single day and develop as a player. So if you have enjoyed this, please do check out the link to guidedpracticeroutines.com, link in the description. Come and grab yourself a membership now, save 20%, available for the next, just under a week now. That price will be locked in for your entirety of the time on the website. You can get a membership for as little as about $17, I think is the lowest price. So do go and check it out. I hope you have enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. I've been Levi Clay. You've been awesome. Here's a practice routine.